But for the most part, the countries we negotiate with that disagree with us, they don't say death upon Americans. Iran says death upon Americans, the top of the Iran. This is not even the people in the streets.
Who gives a fuck? So what?
So give them $150 billion? That's a valid concern. That's a valid question.
First of all,
Patrick David gets fired up in this heated exchange with leftist Reza Aslan on the PBD Podcast. Things get pretty tense here as Patrick David calls him out directly, challenging his views and slamming him for defending a country that openly hates America and chants death to the United States. It's a powerful moment, so let's check out this clip where Patrick David is taking on Reza Aslan.
my advisory role at NIAC, which I used to have, is because I am an expert on religion and politics. So I advise the Plowshares Fund. I advise NIAC. I advise the fucking State Department. I advise actual Congress people who are making these decisions about what to do with Iran. I'm an expert in Iran, so I advise those groups. I have no loyalty or membership to NIAC. I'm not here to speak for NIAC.
To be fair, you don't advise the other side, though. You're strictly advising the progressive side. You're not advising
100%.
Which they support the nuclear deal, which you support as well.
100% support the nuclear deal.
So you support negotiating with a nation that says "Marg bar Amerika," death upon America. You're comfortable negotiating with a country that hates us.
I'm sorry. Who do we negotiate? We only negotiate with countries that love us? Is that how negotiations work? Have you heard of the phrase diplomacy?
But diplomacy.
There is no negotiation with a country that actually agrees with you.
But
we
the question,
negotiate with countries that disagree with us.
I totally get that. But for the most part, the countries we negotiate with that disagree with us, they don't say death upon Americans. Iran says death upon Americans, the top of the Iran. This is not even the people in the streets.
Who gives a fuck? So what?
So give them $150 billion? That's a valid concern. That's a valid question.
First of all, it's their money that we are releasing in exchange for removing nuclear weapons from Iran. How do you suggest we remove nuclear weapons from Iran, Patrick?
Okay, I have ideas for you.
Tell me.
I can give it to you. Not to remove nuclear weapons. First of all, do you believe no matter whether we give them the money or not, they're not going to continue working on nuclear weapons?
They literally didn't. Hold on. Nope. We're not going to move past this until we establish the facts. The JCPOA, which was negotiated by the United States, Russia, China, the Security Council, and Germany, which is extraordinary. The idea that those 5 countries came together and the European Union and agreed on anything, let alone agreed on this absolutely remarkable deal under the Obama administration to remove all the enriched uranium out of Iran. There is zero doubt that that worked. Zero. The IAEA came out in no uncertain terms and said, within 12 months of that deal being put in place, Iran no longer had the enriched uranium to create a nuclear bomb. Within 12 months...
You have to be naive to believe that.
Okay.
You have to be,
right.
but fair enough. Let's buy into the naivete and move forward.
Okay,
let's just say you're right. Let's say you're right.
Let's not believe the people on the ground who are actually monitoring the nuclear plants.
To believe somebody that believes in the values that they do, yes, I don't believe that. But
now look, guys, I'm not claiming to be an expert on Iran or anything like that. But just from watching this exchange between Patrick David and Reza Aslan, there's just kind of a few things that stood out to me. And sure, Reza brings up a bunch of different organizations and sources. I get it. I can even admit that some of those sources have absolutely lied to the public. No argument there. But Patrick David makes a solid point. How can you seriously push to make deals with a country that openly says it wants to see America destroyed? Now, even if they don't yet have the power to pull it off, the fact that they say it shouldn't matter, Trump itself talked about wanting a much tougher deal. That tells you a lot right there. And again, I don't have every detail, but I think Patrick hit the nail on the head when he pointed out that Reza only ever seems to back the progressive left-wing perspective. And that's telling. It's always the same crowd, the globalists, the far-left voices pushing the same ideas. And more often than not, they're the ones causing chaos in other countries, supporting resistance groups, and then later pretending to have the solution. That's the real issue. You're trying to negotiate with people who openly say, well, we hate you. We want you gone. and somehow we're supposed to just trust that. I don't see how you make a deal with someone who says they want to see your country fall. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Would you be okay with working with someone like that? Because I know I wouldn't, that's for sure. And if you guys enjoy content like this, make sure to go ahead and like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a lot. Let's get back to the video.
Let me go to the next one and ask you the question. Let me go to the next one and ask you the question.
What's the alternative?
Let me go back to the next one and ask you the question. Okay. Your father was right about Khomeini. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your father was right. So do you think Iran, and I know this is going to be hard for you to answer this question, don't go Mossadegh. I'm purely talking Shah and the advancements we were making under Shah versus what happened to Iran under Khomeini, okay? If we had a choice between the two, this is not you can't say, well, I would choose this. I wouldn't choose either. If you had a choice between how Iran was during Shah's era versus Khomeini, which would you choose?
Neither.
I knew you were going to say that, but you can't say neither.
Fuck that.
You cannot say neither. How do you mean neither? How can you say neither? Be honest. I'm being serious with you.
You may literally have this idea about the Shah's age that is in your imagination.
I do not have an idea about Shah's age.
You don't remember the thousands of people that he slaughtered on the street, the tens of thousands of people who would disappear into education camps. We replaced one murderous regime with another murderous regime, and it's stupid to say which one would you prefer.
It's naive for you to say what you just said. You said since you've left Iran in 79 till today, Adam asked you a question. When's the last time you visited? You said 2005, before I became famous. You didn't use the word famous, but before I became known in a marketplace. Okay, you haven't gone back since. Under Shah, you could go back. This is not about saying one did it right or one did it wrong.
Is your question which is more beneficial to me or which is better for Iran?
It's, by the way, the Shah was more beneficial to the people. You're saying Khomeini is more beneficial to the people.
Fuck no, that's not what I said.
So the question I'm asking is,
literally said
what is more beneficial? You can't
me,
say neither, though.
The biggest thing that stood out to me in this clip is how little Patrick Bet-David seems to think of Reza, and he keeps calling him naive, not just once, but over and over again. And honestly, just by watching his tone and his body language, you can just tell he's just genuinely frustrated. And I get it. Based on what we've seen from the woke left over the past few years, I'm honestly inclined to agree. There's a level of naivety in thinking you can make a meaningful, lasting agreement with a regime that literally says they want to see America fall. At best, they're going to just find another way to get what they want. And that's not real diplomacy. It's wishful thinking. And working with someone who openly wishes harm on your country, yeah, that just doesn't really make any sense to me. Let me know what you guys think about this topic in the comments, if you guys agree with Patrick Bet-David or not, and I'll see you guys on the next video.